Hey everyone, Jeff here with Fast Bass Marine TV. Say, sitting here at the lake, just got done testing these new Venom Vents from Steve Bishop Marine. Pretty amazing product. Want to say thank you to Steve first off. We've talked a lot about these. I was really excited to give them a try, see what they do, and they did not disappoint at all. I think you'll see that here in a minute when we start looking at the results, but just really impressive. You know, I've had a lot of opportunities to run this motor, test this motor. Really felt like it needed more air, and so I was talking with Steve. He was saying he's got something coming out, and I said, just let me give him a try. Let me test them, and I told him, hey, I'll give you an honest review of them, and really just did not disappoint. Pretty impressive results. So as far as installation goes, Steve puts them in an awesome box. They come boxed up, bubble wrapped, a decal for a template for each side. You place the decal down, you drill a couple holes, you follow the stencil outline of the main cutout. Went really fast, probably took me 20 minutes putting the decal on to cutting to having the Venom Vents installed. They went super easy. If you have some mechanical ability, it obviously helps, and the right tools, but super fast, easy installation. They look amazing, high quality, really professional looking installation. Obviously, I mean, in my opinion, they really make the motor look amazing, kind of like the old 300X look to it. So looks really cool with them on there. You'll probably hear it in the video, but they let the motor breathe, and they also let the noise out. And so even my son, he'll hop in the boat and he's like, Dad, this is amazing. I can hear the supercharger whine. We get up to speed, you can hear it. The motor sounds incredible with the cutout. So as an added perk to not only their performance, how cool they look, but the noise is really cool on the 450R as well. So overall, just really impressed with them. In a minute here, we'll do a head-on-head comparison where I go out and I test the cowl. I run the stock cowl, then I run this cowl back to back. Just really taking a look at the data and seeing how they compare. So we'll run this test real quick, and then we'll come back and kind of talk results. In this instance, both of these runs are back to back. I take a close look at what my trim number is. The jack plate never moves, and so the acceleration and how I trim the boat is the identical for both props. I get it up out of the hole, immediately trim to a number, and then that's it. And so both runs, same water conditions, same ripple on the water, same jack plate height, same trim number, same gas level, everything's identical. Like I said, it's all back to back. They're 1 mile runs, so it's just really quick, back-to-back stuff. As you can see from taking a look at the results, pretty incredible the performance pickup of these Venom Vents. You know, across the board, you'll see time to speed. Across the top of the graph, you'll see the distance run, and so the Venom Vents, not only do they pick up 6 miles an hour on the top end, but really, I mean, you're talking hundreds of feet in front of the stock cowl boat, just in a straight line, 1.25 miles, 1.5 mile run. So really incredible what they picked up, and the speed and performance, acceleration. You'll watch as we look at the results, the pickup happens after 80 miles an hour, and it's steep. I mean, it really makes a difference in this motor. One of the tests I didn't get to run that I really wanted to run, unfortunately, I'd ordered a 34 pitch prop to come in and just didn't show up in time to make this test. I have another 34 coming in another couple weeks, but I really wanted to be able to top end it just to see, is it, you know, overall what speed increase we would see with this motor. You know, I'm expecting some pretty big things here. Done a lot of summer running now in the heat, 96, 97 degree temperature days. Really what I see across the board is the ability to get RPM back that I was missing on those hot, humid days. I'm picking up 200-300 RPM, and that's all the difference in speed and performance. It really helps push the motor. Really impressed with the results. So the first graph up is speed versus time, and so this is to me the easiest thing to judge. It's what everybody sees. You're sitting in the boat and you're watching the GPS and it's packing on speed, and you're watching the numbers fly by, and you can talk about the seat of your pants feel in these boats, but one of the big things is watching the speed. And so I do speed versus time. It doesn't really tell us a ton. There's different ways of looking at it. You know, if you're in a drag race, you know, I race this boat, I can build speed on the back half of 1,000 feet or the front half. And so speed versus time is kind of just something, you know, when you're on the water, we don't have a good appreciation or a feel for the distance that we're traveling. So it's all we can look at is look at the GPS and watch the numbers peel away. And so, you know, to me, I do this graph and I take a look at these results just because it's what I feel, and I can see it while I'm sitting in the boat. You know, so it's important. We look at these numbers, and so, you know, just hitting 100, you know, we're in with the Venom Vent motor, we were hitting 136 seconds versus the stock Cowl hit 154 seconds. Venom Vent Cowl hit 100 in 3,827 feet. Stock Cowl did that in 6,186 feet. So huge difference. I mean, if you're on the water, you're going to see that. That's going to be, we have a graph coming up here in a minute where you'll see that, you know, that's so many boat lengths it falls off the page. So it's impressive what it does. And so I take a look at speed versus time, and that's really, again, what I feel while I'm sitting in the boat. And so that's why I like this this graph and this chart, is because it ultimately shows me what I'm feeling while I'm sitting in the boat. For the people that are racers, we have distance versus time and speed. And so this is the one that everybody knows. You know, I take a look at it from 1/8 mile, 1/4 mile, 1/2 mile, 3/4 mile, 1 mile, 1 1/8 mile, just to get a feel for what am I doing over that distance and what kind of speed and what is my time through the traps, if you will. And so if you take a look here, I mean, just right out of the gate, you know, there's a little bit of a pickup, you see it. But we don't really start to see the boat pull away until we get to that 1/2 mile mark. At the 1/2 mile mark, you know, we're closing in on a second gap, and we're also, speed through the traps is about 4 miles an hour faster. So it's really at that 1/2 mile mark. You know, I take a look at this, and it's really when we look at the speed curve as well. It's after 80 miles, this boat is really just, the RPM is coming on. Through the whole shot, didn't really help that much, but it's that mid-range top end where we're really seeing the performance with these Venom Vents. You start to see it again at the 1 mile, 46 seconds, 103 miles an hour versus 48 seconds at 99 miles an hour. So again, it's carrying that 4 miles an hour. Big one at the 1 1/8 mile, or 5,940 feet. We're running through that one at almost 51 seconds and 104 miles an hour, closing in on 105, and stock Cowl's at 52 seconds and 99.6. So we really just hit that hump at the very end, and it's really struggling with the stock Cowl to get up over 100. So that's where you really see it. I do this last one because a lot of people like to see, you know, to me it helps visualize, well, what are all these numbers? I could sit and show you numbers all day. We can talk numbers. I'm a huge statistical analysis, data-driven person. And so I like to take a look at, you know, if I'm on the water, what does that mean? So if I was lined up next to another boat and we both took off, and one's got the stock Cowl and one's got the Venom Vent Cowl, what does that mean? And so you start to see it at the 1/8 mile. That's where I really like this pictorial view. 1/8 mile, they're right neck and neck. 1/4 mile, we're that boat and a half back. 1/2 mile, we start to open up that gap, 3-4 boat lengths. 3/4 of a mile, closing in on 5-6 boat lengths. 1 mile, 6-7 boat lengths, and 1 1/4 miles is about 10 boat lengths back. So, and that's just, you know, 1 1/4 miles. For those guys that have long runs on opening morning of a tournament, and you're going 30-40 miles, imagine what this does for you. It just gives you the ability to get speed, get that acceleration, and put the distance between the other boats. So really, really incredible results. Really happy with the performance here, you know, for just making a quick change to the cowl. So I really like it. These Venom Vents have plugs as well, so you can put plugs in the front. You can plug the rear. Right now I'm running the entire cowl open, so I got the Venom Vent open on the front. I got the rear stock vents open. On a rainy day, I have the plugs, so I can pop plugs in and run on a rainy day and have the stock capability right there. So in summary, amazing product, performance fantastic, fit and finish on them looks great. Really, really amazing job, Steve. You know, final thank you here goes to Tim Powell, as always. Appreciate everything you do for me, and wouldn't be here testing stuff without all your help. So thanks again, Steve. Thanks again, Tim. Appreciate it all. Take care.